Welcome back. A lovely conversation just ahead of us. It's been a very long time since this lovely couple of human beings has been here in the studio, but they've been everywhere. They have been traveling for years now, and it's always been a blessing, I've felt, to have social media to be able to follow along with their travels and hear what's happening. To get to see them in the flesh is a rare treat indeed. They're here in Salt Lake City and touring the Western United States. There may only be one name on this record, but it really is emblematic of a duo that is in the annals of travel history without a doubt. I'm so pleased to welcome back to the program Brian and Katie Ernst. Hi, fam.
Thanks,
How are you?
It's good to be
Oh my gosh, you're here.
You're here.
Yes, I've been right in this chair the whole time.
Yeah.
Welcome back, you guys.
Thank you so much.
You look well.
Thank you.
We feel well.
Feel good.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm
Especially
so glad.
out here in this mountain air.
Right.
Gosh,
It's
so
lovely
beautiful
stuff.
out here.
This lovely place in the world, without a doubt.
Beautiful.
And for those of you at home, we wanted to have Teresa stay with us because I think we're going to talk a little bit about maybe some mental health issues in your travels and on the road and the experiences that you have in what I imagine is sometimes a pretty intense duo when you're out in the world and you're coupled to each other, but lots of things can happen out there in the world when you're traveling and on the road.
Yeah. We're really fortunate to have each other. You know, that does make, I think, make one thing a little bit easier as having each other. But thank you so much for just coming on here and talking about mental health. And it's so encouraging when Terry said earlier that you were going to be speaking about that. And like you said, that it's being something that's being talked about more often. It's not doesn't have a huge stigma about it. And you know, for someone like myself, I thought I was always everything's great. You know, everything's fine. You're boring, good life, and then you start traveling overseas, or you start traveling around this country, and you start speaking to other people, and you start listening and feeling from other people and hearing their stories, and yeah, it is mental health is a very serious thing, and it is something we need to culturally evolve and mature in and be able to speak about.
Yeah, be more accepting and open.
Yeah. Definitely.
So
more
thank you so much
tolerant.
for
Yeah,
your
you're
work.
welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I love it. Yeah.
Talk about how things are out there on the road. I realize you've been back in the States for a little bit now. You were spending some time in Florida, but in the main, and of course it has been a while since we've seen each other. So tell us a little bit about the exciting spots and what's been happening in the last couple of years.
So the last few years we've been touring around the United States with Brian's music, trying to bring positivity and healing. You know, I think music has healing elements.
Absolutely.
And so it really does tie in. But yeah, at the same time, we have such a heart to see more of that in the world. So we respond to things. Like we responded to the refugee crisis in 2015, 2016 with the Syrians leaving. And that was the biggest refugee crisis since World War II. So we spent 5 weeks over there, and we experienced a lot of secondhand trauma even coming home. And we recently, this February, did a short trip back and visited with some of the families we had met, and then also went back to Kenya and visited the people we've been working with there since 2010, and saw a lot of the kids, how they've grown up over the years, and had our first kid graduate college this year with Journey for Youth. And
how exciting.
Yeah, so it's been a really
cool.
encouraging year, and it's good to circle back to different parts of the world that we're connected to and see how people make the most out of their lives, and to be part of this human family of volunteers that show up when things like that happen, and be like, hey, even us, we don't have any like unique skills to offer, but we just want to be kind to you. We just want to be loved to you.
Be
we
human.
just, we want to be here for you in any little way we can, and to see the resiliency of people and people spring back from disaster, and to see the good and the beauty and the hope in people when they're faced with poverty and war and things that we can't even imagine what it's like to experience firsthand, inspires and encourages us, and
gives us
we
a
want
good
to
perspective
share that
too.
as we travel and
That's
through
amazing.
song and story.
That's
So
great.
Yeah.
That is so good. Yeah.
We're super lucky and super fortunate. You know, we like to say this tour has been, we're calling it the It Takes a Village tour. And because it takes a village.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're all, you know, as humanity, we're all, you know, tied to a single garment of destiny, you know. What affects one affects us all, you know, and so through the triumphs and the tribulations, it really does take a village. And that's what one of the things that we're learning, you know, seeing, like Katie said, some of the things in the last few years working out in Africa and working in refugee camps and we went and volunteered in Standing Rock as well. And yeah, just seeing some of these things and feeling how that just intrinsically and trauma and things that happen in this world are intrinsically connected to us as cultures and people and even those of us on the other side of the world. It's you know, now's the time to do something. There's a lot of things that are happening in this world, and there's a lot of things, you know, it's really easy to get grim and really easy to hold on to cynicism.
That was my next question is how do
Yeah.
you all maintain your sense of light and of balance and of gratitude
I feel
that is
like
always with you?
we see that in people who are suffering, and if you can have that, of course I can have it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Syrian families that we would go into their temporary homes that they're living in now in Turkey, they would greet us, but we had never met them before, with hugs and kisses and
Like family.
like we were their family, and we would all sit together on the floor and like in this tiny room, so we'd all be touching, drinking tea, just getting to know each other, telling the hard stories, but laughing in between, playing with the kids. We always had bubbles with us, you know, just so
Yeah.
it, like
Trying to
the
just-
kids would start laughing,
great.
and then the whole
Yeah.
room, everybody would be
Energy
happy.
shifts.
And,
Sure.
you know, the Syrians have a beautiful culture with incredible food, and there would always be these meals and
Yeah.
tea, and you know, you just break bread
Family.
together, and it's like, wow, life feels normal right now, and like you know, to feel part of the worldwide family is just inspiring feeling to have, and even in the midst of, you know, hearing these stories that are hard to hear and realizing the reality of what these people have faced and what they're facing still. And so they inspire us, and then just taking time in nature, you know, and just being in places like this where we can go for a walk and
singing, and I think singing and playing too. I think it's you know, we have a tremendous opportunity as artists, not just we, but all kinds of art. Really, I mean, I think so important for artists all over the world to be able to express themselves, because we as artists are storytellers in a way. Doesn't matter the medium, and storytelling is this, you know, as ancient as human transformation is. It's, you know, part of our humanity. So being able to share these stories and to sing these songs about some of the experiences that we've had. You know, I can't necessarily go into a venue and, you know, necessarily be like, yeah, let me, you know, I do a very little bit, but I try to really just keep it positive and keep it encouraging and keep the stories, keeping politics out of things, and really just focusing on humanity and yeah, and you know, quite honestly, it is really challenging sometimes, you know, to not hold on, to not grab on to cynicism, at least for me, you know, sometimes. But the thing that we are constantly reminded of is that despite all the craziness and just the bad things that are happening in this world, the time is now to do good.
Absolutely.
You know, we have a opportunity right now in history to really make change. As a younger man, and even as a child, you know, I didn't think that I was like, oh, things are great. You know, I grew up in the suburbs in Ohio. You know, it's like a lot of people like myself, but you know, as we see this world right now, and things are coming out, and people are becoming empowered and speaking, and the world is connected. Now's the time. And to stand up, whatever it is that you're passionate about, whether it's mental health or anything, the environment, you know, we have an ability, and if we all do something that we are passionate about, whether it's saving the penguins, the forest, mental health, being a good parent, whatever it is, that's how we're going to make this world a better place.
Absolutely.
It's powerful.
Humility, gratitude, tolerance, and compassion.
Yeah, meeting people where they are at,
Acceptance.
There's so many. There's a lot of. Sometimes it's really challenging, to be faced. I mean, we have such a tremendous support network, and we've been given tremendous amounts of, overwhelmingly showered upon with blessings, and just people are so good to us. But there's times sometimes where we're faced in this world with a whole other people. We all, as humanity, are people who are either apathetic, they don't care,
Right.
or they are against what you believe in and stand up. We got to focus on the positive,
Yeah.
not try to disrespect people who are maybe believe different things
Well said.
than us. To
it's
meet
heavy.
people. I have people that believe very opposite things than we believe in, and the goal and the trick is to always be able to communicate and meet them where they're at, so that maybe that they'll listen.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got it
Maybe
right
maybe
there.
we could talk about suicide. Maybe we can talk about mental health with our
Right.
friends and our family,
Yes, I agree.
even if it's uncomfortable. So-
Absolutely.
Especially
Absolutely.
if it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah, especially if it's
Yes.
uncomfortable, because it's real.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
it's existing, without a doubt.
Wonderful.
So you guys are here in the Western U.S.
Yeah.
Going to be touring
Yeah.
around for a while.
It's kind of one long perpetual
Yeah.
tour,
Right,
but
right,
it's here in Utah. We're going to be in Utah for the next week. We have
Awesome.
shows up here in Park City this coming Monday with Tiffany Wood doing an instrumental yoga show,
Wow.
which is over at the shop by the library. One of our highlights of our year. I'll be doing that'll be benefiting Journey for Youth, and we're going to be also doing another benefit concert down in Salt Lake City with our good friends Talia Keys and the Love. We're going to be raising money for the Rock Camp for Girls.
Love it.
Bringing them on, and
Yes.
some of they're going to be coming in, and I love
Performing with her.
performing with her and us on
really
stage,
cool.
and which I love being connected with you and this whole Utah, Park City, Salt Lake,
Absolutely.
Utah scene. Really, there's so many
Yeah.
amazing people doing good things, and how everybody here is so inclusive.
Yeah.
People, as Katie and I are strangers. We don't have, we're strangers everywhere we go, pretty much, because we're always traveling, but we're not strangers here.
Well,
And we're not strangers. A couple other places.
couple-
too.
Yeah.
People watch it. Like,
Well,
It's
a lot of
actually the
people-
world just keeps getting smaller and
There are people-
smaller.
but-
So.
I just, it's just so awesome to be here and to be connected. Other people are just like, we're getting
Absolutely.
girls to get up and play music and
Right.
take
So
control and
important. So
empowerment. Oh,
important.
it's just so
Yeah,
awesome.
so say the details of that night real
Okay,
fast.
sorry. That is Thursday. That's this Thursday, the 28th.
Okay.
That is down in Salt Lake City at the Art Garden, which is right by the Metro, and the doors are at 7 o'clock. I'll be opening the show at 7:30. Talia Keys and the Love go on not too long after that, and we have a whole lot of surprises and a lot of musical guests, and it's going to be a good time.
And a food
Fantastic.
truck.
Yeah,
And
and a food truck.
family friendly.
Family
event.
friendly. Yeah.
Lovely.
It's $10 tickets and benefits Journey for Youth and the girls camp.
Rock Camp for
Girls.
Salt Lake.
And then what was this?
We also want to do a shout out to our friends out in Turkey, the nonprofit Revi. They're the nonprofit that works out in in Turkey with Syrian refugees. Volunteer with them. Anybody who has a heart for that, there's a lot of things to be passionate about. But check out Revi, revifamily.com, or revifamily.org. REVI family.org.
ReviFamily.org.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
They're doing great things. A lot of people.
You are doing great things.
We're just
It
part
takes-
of
we're
it.
just-
so lovely to have you here, and I'm just grateful for your energy. I know I've been looking forward to this
Us too.
day, to
Us
this
too.
moment, and to this energy for a long time. It's lovely to see you here, and we're just grateful for your good vibes and everything that you do, and to have you back here in the community.
Hey man, you're the first person I call when I'm coming to Utah, man.
That's right. We did book this a while ago.
You're the
so
first one. You're my
Good
first
stuff.
Utah show. We're calling Terry.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Get back on Park City Television.
Well, thank you guys for being here, and we're going to do a quick commercial break. Teresa, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you. You're
here.
welcome.
Thank you
Thanks,
for
you
being
guys.
so nice to the
my
little
buddy.
dog. And
Buddy.
we're going to take a quick break, you guys. We'll be right back. Brian's got one more tune. After this, please stay tuned.